Well, everybody, hard to believe it's Wednesday already at the Midwest Clinic. Crazy how fast time flies with the incredible concerts and clinics and networking with people. So I'm going to be recording a video with Jason Heath of Eastman String Instruments, and that is our sponsor for the podcast episodes the month of December. So keep your eyes peeled and your ears out for some new episodes that'll be coming up. In terms of some interviews and things throughout the month of December. We're almost done, but we're going to try to squeeze in a couple more things here before the end of the month. So just an awesome time. It is early. The exhibits have not opened, so I can actually sit here and talk and hear myself, and you can hear me as well. So we'll be interviewing Jason Heath in just a few moments, and hope that you will enjoy that time learning about Eastman and about Jason. Interesting, amazing guy, has an awesome bass podcast called Contrabass Conversations. You got to check that out, and we'll be coming to you very soon. So, good morning, everybody.
Here we are.
Here we are. Welcome, everybody, to the Orchestra Teacher Podcast. We have a video here, too, so this is going on our Orchestra Teacher YouTube channel. I'm sitting here with the one and only Jason Heath of Eastman Strings. Bass extraordinaire. He is the author of the Contrabass Conversations podcast, in addition to all kinds of great videos and resources he puts out. Bass is his specialty. But welcome, Jason. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks, Charles. And I'm a big fan of yours. I discovered the Orchestra Teacher podcast and everything you're doing a few years ago. And I reached out to you and said, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life as an orchestra teacher. And it's just so cool to go behind the scenes with people that are real experts like you and the people you bring on. Thanks. It's just always a great chance to hang out with you. And we chatted last year's Midwest. Yeah. I was losing my voice then. I'm losing it now, but not quite as badly. Just don't ask me to sing on the podcast.
Yeah. We definitely won't do that. We don't do that here.
Orchestra Teacher Podcast.
Yeah. As much as we can. But yeah, it's awesome. There's it seems like there's a lot of energy this year at Midwest, and the attendance is really up, and it's just an exciting time to be here and to do some new things. But
yeah, the concerts have been looking great. Yeah. Great crowd. There was a great crowd at your panel discussion yesterday, and then here at the booth we've had 30, 40 people in this booth. Right behind the camera, there's this pod of 6 cellos, and we've had all 6 of these little stools filled with cellists playing, and I'm hearing
those are cool stools.
Yeah, viola concertos played in unison, which is always hilarious, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, I'll move the camera and we'll show you some of these the cello chairs. Those are pretty cool. We're looking at those.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you've been doing? I know you're still busy with your podcast and making videos and teaching, and in addition to all your work that you're doing with Eastman. But what are some of your latest projects?
Well, I've always been a performer, and I've been lucky enough to be a substitute musician pretty regularly with the San Francisco Symphony.
Nice.
So it's been really fun.
Wow.
It's fun to work on this side of things with Eastman, and I love going to events like this. And then I do my own content creator stuff in the bass world, which is fun, and I've been doing forever, and probably will keep doing forever. And then it's been great to play. It's so cool to get on stage with these great artists, and it's fun. In this Eastman role, we'll have something new. Like we were working on a new beginner violin bow. And so to bring it to the San Francisco Symphony and say, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And go to the people who I know teach. And so, it's fun to just sort of try to balance all those different activities.
So you're coming out with, there's a new product coming out, not yet released?
Yeah, it's more like just an upgrade to our, trying to make, from the beginning, you want to play on something that responds.
For sure.
And you want to, and I think everybody who teaches the Orchestra Teacher Podcast, you probably all do, has had the experience of like absolute trash beginner bows, and beginner instruments or strings that are too high. You're just asking for bad habits to develop.
So that's true.
Yeah, you don't want to. You want to. Your life is challenging enough as a teacher, like trying to solve it with subpar gear, and so we're trying to even at the fractional bow, my first bow size, we're trying to get something that feels good, and we're thinning out the traditional fiberglass stick just a little bit, and it seems to respond a little bit better, and just trying to make it something that a student that feels good in the hand.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love it. I love that. Love
Yeah.
that. What are some new products or some things that have been awesome here at Eastman?
Yeah, I'll show you a few things.
Sure.
So we have been working for the last few years on what I call, it's called Series Plus, but I like to call it like stealth mode violin. So look at this violin.
Okay.
Beautiful violin, 405, one of our nicer, student violins. Yeah, but
nice flaming and
what have we here? We have this unusual N button.
That's pretty cool.
Why would you have that? Well, it's this pickup system that we've designed that uses this 1/8" jack right here in the N button, which is still comfortable to hold.
It stays out of the way.
It stays out of the way.
If your N button is against your neck, you're doing it wrong anyway.
Yeah, and there are many options to use a 1/4" jack, and there are other products that do that. But it adds weight to the instrument.
Yeah.
It's visually it's right there.
Right.
And so this
when you look at this, you don't see anything. I mean, if I show you guys a little closer, the only thing that you see is it's a metal N button, and there's a hole in it for the jack to go. So that's a pretty cool thing. And like if you looked at it, you would not guess that it has the electronic feature. But
yeah, exactly.
Plug-in.
Yeah, and so this just it gives you the option, all the things that are available to you when you plug in. This does that, but no one would ever know that this is there. The pickup is actually built into the top of the instrument in the inside.
You can't see anything. Yeah,
you can't see it. So that's something that we're excited about. And then
that's awesome.
Yeah,
and then you have those in viola and cello.
We do it for violin, viola, cello, and we can do it on any instrument.
Okay. So you can retrofit, or
we can't retrofit, but you can order one with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
customized.
So
perfect.
exactly. And so those have been taking off. It's been really fun. We're going to do something at the ASTA convention with Julie Lieberman. She's going to be leading a jam session on one of these instruments. So we're excited about those.
Cool.
Yeah, and then it's been really interesting to just see like what we do. Like this is this is the instrument you used in the demo
yesterday. The clinic
panel discussion. And so this is one of our. This is everything we do at Eastman is we do in the workshop tradition, which means that there are many people working on one instrument, and so though this is called the Emiliani, this is it's made by several people, but I think it's amazing to see what the beauty that can actually come out of that system.
It's gorgeous. I'm going to show that a little closer for our viewers too. You can see that the flaming is really, really nice. This has more of an amber varnish, but it's beautiful instrument.
Yeah, and I mean this is so this 928. It's an oil varnish, and it's like an oil painting, and it takes months to finish this process. And this instrument, so we make my first violin. We make this violin. We make down to the teeny tiny sizes.
Is this the 80?
This is is this an 80 or is this a 100? It's so early in the morning I can't remember what we brought. This is oh geez, Jason, my old eyes. We'll call it an 80.
Okay.
80 or 100.
So the 80 is the base, your very base model,
so
right?
This is what you're getting down in the little tiniest fractional sizes.
Okay.
So we do that all the way to this. And this couple of Chicago Symphony violinists have played this in the Chicago Symphony. And it's just kind of cool to be involved with a company that takes you from, 3 years old, the first violin, to something that's actually used in the finest professional orchestras.
That's great.
So
great.
and this uses Italian tone wood.
Okay.
So we got spruce and maple and just your traditional building materials.
Yeah.
Beautiful flame.
But the thing that I like about pretty much every Eastman instrument that I've used is that no matter what level it is, it's always set up right. The materials are always fantastic. And so that, for me, it's just peace of mind knowing that I'm going to get something that's done right, regardless of the level.
Yeah, exactly. And something I'm really excited about, being a bass player, on the bass side of things, we hired a bass luthier named Ralph Alcala a few years ago, and he's been working on just running the string shop and improvements for everything, but he's also been designing some bass models.
Oh, nice.
So here at this show, we have, for the first time in public, we have a new bass model from Ralph, and we're going to have a second one coming out in 2023. But we have this Busan model bass, Domenico Busan.
We have one here?
We have one here.
Why don't we walk over?
Yeah,
and
let's
we
go
see
over.
it? Yeah,
Yep.
we go check it
Absolutely.
out. So tell us about this. I'm doing the manual camera here.
Beautiful. So this this is a 7/8 size bass, and so large resonant cavity here, but it's still got a 41.5-inch string length. So your typical string length,
okay,
just on any bass, and it has this bend in the back.
Wow,
right here.
look
This
at
is a
that.
traditional shape that's used very much associated with English basses, but also Italian basses. And what this does is it shrinks down considerably this
yeah,
block
it's
here.
like skinny.
Yeah, which allows the player to get over the bass in a remarkable
Yeah,
way.
because if you look at it from the side profile here, you can kind of see that it comes up on that side like that. So definitely it's a lot skinnier and more accessible.
Yeah.
Easier to navigate.
Totally. So if you go to the Chicago Symphony or Atlanta Symphony, whatever professional orchestra, and you look at the bass section, most of their basses look like this.
Oh, okay.
This is the sort of bass that if you want to go on and play professionally, particularly in an orchestral setting, this is the sort of pattern that's really desirable. So it's a large instrument,
yeah,
but it doesn't feel particularly large. It's quite comfortable to play on, and it's just a big, beautiful sound. We have one of our bass extensions on here.
So is this something that you can order too when you order a specific bass?
Yes, and we can put this on any of our basses, and we can put it on after the fact as well.
So they can be retrofitted with this.
Yeah, and this is something we came out with about 4 years ago, and it's a pretty exciting model. It's the first commercially available bass extension, and it's quite lightweight. We designed it with Lisa Gass of Los Angeles Bass Works, and it's a cool model. The main part is ebony right here, and then these closers, they're like guitar capos.
Right.
They're made out of Delrin, which is a lightweight plastic, and it just closes like that, because a lot of the time you just need a low D.
Right.
So now you have a low D, or you have a low E flat.
That's cool.
And not only is it great for being able to play those low notes, but if you're in a flat key, let's say you're playing in E flat major. Okay, well now you have a low E flat string.
Yeah.
You have a G string. All of a sudden that key, not the world's greatest key on strings, you get a resonance to that's pretty special.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, and I mean this is the sort of extension you'll see in professional orchestras. It works great. It's easy to use, and it's adjustable. So these keys right here.
Oh wow.
If you need
so if you need to tune it up a little bit.
Yeah. So if you're using a different string, or if you have to make some bridge
adjustments,
perfect. You can recalibrate this so that you stay in tune.
Yeah, and the fact that it's that synthetic material, you're not going to have the fluctuations in temperature and all that kind of stuff that might mess it up.
Exactly.
Wonderful. That's great. I love that. Beautiful bass. So, and then you said there's a second model coming out.
Yeah, so we're going bigger and we're going smaller. So we have a 5/8 pattern bass coming out that we'll be showing at TMEA, if anybody listening or watching is going to be there in San Antonio, and then we'll have it at other trade shows, so wherever, and it'll be available in 2023. So that bass is still got a nice resonating cavity, but it's just shrunk down a bit, and it's also got a little bit of a shorter string length. I believe it's a 40-inch string length, because not all bass players are 6 feet tall and with like long dangling arms.
Yeah.
And so while this bass, a lot of people can play this bass, this is not for everybody. The 5/8 basses have become increasingly popular in recent years at Texas Music Educators Association, TMEA, their conference. They had an entire session on 5/8 basses a few years ago.
Oh, really?
And why that's a great new thing in the bass world. And that 5/8 bass that we'll have soon, it is as wide pretty much as this bass in the lower bout, which doesn't get in the player's way. But then it's a bit slimmer in the upper bout, and the string length's a little shorter. So if you're 5'6" or something like that,
you could play a 5/8 bass.
You could play this bass, and you're going to get a lot of sound.
Wow.
So it's still got a lot of depth to the sound. It sounds like a 3/4 size bass. It sounds like a much bigger bass than it is.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome. The more resonance, the better, right?
Yeah, totally.
Especially if you have few bass players, you can get more sound out of them.
Yeah, so we're nerding out on basses. I love it because I'm a bass player. Our shop manager's a bass player.
Oh,
and so
cool.
We've been starting with the basses, and then we've got a whole bunch of ideas in store for all our other string family members.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
And then you want to show us those cellos and cello chairs that you have?
Yeah, and then we don't actually sell these cello chairs, but they're cool.
Yeah, you might have to start selling them.
I know, right? Yeah,
if they get popular enough.
I know, exactly.
Because they solve that problem of kids sitting back in their chair.
Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of cool with these is they.
And it's a cello cradle.
Yeah, it's a cello rack, but then this is also a good height to sit on. So if you want, so here at the show, we've actually had these completely full with students playing, which is super fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So very, very cool. This is great. There's so many awesome things. I'll just take a little video here of some of the instruments and kind of go around. You got some violas here. Again, you look at the woods and the detailing and the antiquing that's been done. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
And we got the 401 here. This is a Romanian tone wood, so it's got a really nice kind of like earthy sound to it.
Yeah.
And then the 928, so you can see that oil varnish right there.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then it's the 928, the top model?
That's our Cadillac, but we have another.
Okay.
You're just throwing me softballs, Charles. It's so easy to show this stuff with you. We also have our, this is it, right? Yeah. This is the 830 model violin. So this is our 30th anniversary violin model. It's available at select violin shops. So if you're in Atlanta Violins carries this.
All right, perfect.
This is something that our founder Chen worked really hard on, and so antique spirit varnish and beautiful instrument. Nice sweet kind of sound similar to the 928, but just a little bit different too. So this came out to celebrate our 30th anniversary, and we have this available: violin, viola, cello, and bass.
Okay.
And for cello, and bass, we have the option to have a poplar back. And so poplar is a really popular wood in the string world, especially for viola, cello, and bass.
Yeah.
And it's a little harder to work with, but it has like this really sort of punchy, kind of distinctive sound, and a lot of people find it really appealing.
They like it.
Yeah. So this is
gorgeous.
poplar back on our 830 model cello, and you can see really kind of cool piece of wood that we used for that, and the antiquing and everything. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Nice cello.
Yeah. So there's there's something for everybody here, regardless of price range, regardless of ability level, and this is fantastic. Jason, again, thank you so much for being on the Orchestra Teacher Podcast and YouTube channel. Appreciate it. And we are here again, Midwest Clinic, the Eastman Strings. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks for everything you do, Charles.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
absolutely. A lot of fun. See you next time.
See you later.
Thank you for tuning in. For resources and more information, visit orchestrateacher.net. This video podcast is proudly sponsored by Eastman Strings. By the time an Eastman instrument reaches the player, dozens of expert craftspeople have had a hand in bringing it to the peak of its sound, playability, and beauty. The Eastman Workshop operates in precisely the same manner as late 19th century European workshops. Chisels, knives, and scrapers in the hands of outstandingly gifted craftspeople are the primary tools used to create these modern instruments. These techniques impart each model with a beautiful voice and appearance that can only be achieved by hand. As in the shops of master luthiers for the past 500 years, Eastman honors this tradition every day. You can learn more and find a dealer near you at eastmanstrings.com.